are playing yet another game that I've also grown up playing. This game was the epitome of 1980s and 1990s horror. And if you grew up in the 90s, you could kind of tell, like, from the music and the feel that this is a 90s, 80s-ish games. But this actually came out in the 90s. But it almost feels like it's from, like, the 80s. You can tell from, like, the music. But, after beating this game several times, I've actually found a way to unlock not only infinite ammo, but invincibility. So if you see that I'm not losing any bullets or losing any health, that's because I unlocked God mode on this, which enables you to play through all games, through all the levels, without dying or losing health. I know, the graphics, the cinematics are just strange. The music sounds way cooler if this is played faster, but like I said, please don't blame me. The program. They have other walkthroughs of this, but not one have they have it commentating. What I just did was actually a strategy. This is the module that allows you to enable not only recording devices, but maps. That's how you unlock the maps, but you have to find the ID cards for it.
Cartridge secured.
Not many people actually understand the storyline to this game. They're like, what's this game really about? Well, actually it's self-explanatory. You just have to stop a doctor from unleashing a mutant virus that can alter a person's genetic code. These helibots are not, helibots is Helibots, in case for those that are saying, is that he's saying hella or heli? Helibots. Or helicopter-propelled, sentry things. If they charge right into you, they blow up. That's how they attack you. Pretty much, I unlock the map. If you get the ID card, and you go on the module, you press triangle, and then you get the full map. I'll show you.
Access data screen.
Which, by the way, square is actually the button to activate the map. It's not start, like in most traditional games. The barrel heads are the ones that will constantly shoot at you, so they always hide in the darkness of the hallway. Those things. They always drop bullets for your gun.
Cartridge.
I'll see if I can show you. I have God mode, so I don't have to worry about dying. Now it's mostly helibots over here. Oh shit. That was a squid monster. A cyborg squid. Anymore? Nope. It's funny how that's actually the cafeteria. Some of this, I don't know how the architect works on this, but this is like the weirdest designed area I've ever been to. Squidding. It's strange how these enemies are actually, oh damn, that was a barrel head. It's strange how these enemies are actually infused with like tissue and machines. This is probably yep, barrel head.
Cartridge secured.
Oh, by the way, my battery is also going to be stuck at 99%. So that way I can use laser technology based weapons, like energy based weapons. That's always my strategy. Shoot down the hallway. Until you hear an explosion. If not, that means that there's nothing there. But there's always something there. I'm just giving you a quick helpful walkthrough, because there are times you'd have to go room exploration to find a rare item.
Secured.
Fuck you, barrelhead!
Cartridge
unless you
secured.
unlock God mode, this game will rage. Like this, like if I had to do a rating scale of rages, which I'm probably gonna do, the first game I started playing when it comes to using commentating was the Bust the Move game. If you haven't already seen it, if I would say from a ranking scale, that's an 8 out of 9 rage. The last game I also played was what was it? Ball Breakers. That limits to at least 5 or 6 rage out of 10. This game, unless you have God mode unlocked, this would be 6 to 7 at best. Like the lowest would be 5 because it's such an ammo waster unless you have infinite ammo. Because this game will make you lose all your bullets. The enemies get harder and harder as the level progresses. I shit you not when I say this. There were times I have lost my fucking mind playing this game,
Secured.
and it took me forever to actually get hold on, until I got to the last mission. Thing is, you also need a memory card. This music, I forgot. Hold on, I think it was the. No, was it? I don't know, but it. Here's the thing: if you're Asian and if you're Mexican or Hispanic of any sort, if you grew up in the 1980s, the 1990s, this music will make you remember of all those things you've ever watched on 80s and 90s television. Like, here's actually something I've actually discovered about when it comes to stuff like this. When there's a show that my mom used to watch a long time ago that was actually like one of the most famous shows in all of Mexico. It's supposed to be a comedy, but the graphics of it is so creepy because it's filmed in the 80s. And you know how back in the 80s they have like this like sort of filter that makes things look slightly retro, kind of like sepia toned or some no, not sepia toned, more like sort of like buzzy. I can't explain it. But if you grew up in the 80s and in the 90s, you have probably seen this show called El Chavo. Not El Chapo, not the escaped convict, the El Chavo. If anyone has ever seen that, if you're Hispanic and you have seen this show, you see from the graphics, you could tell it's like 80s retro graphics, but
Battery
it's
secured.
just so scary to look at those graphics now. I mean, not because everything's in high def, but it's because horror films from Mexico and horror films from Japan had the same tone for camera filters that it just makes things look creepy. And the thing is, the Japanese, they really know how to make a horror. Not horror, horror. Horror films.
Key card secured.
The key cards, the only thing they'll do is unlock doors and elevators. Without it, you can't beat the level. So they make it so that you have to kill every single robot in here. Okay. See, that's also what I mean, because you never know what's behind the shadow. That giant box thing I killed off was, I think I call it a box bot. And you can kind of tell from this area that these are the weirdest beds ever if they promote their logos on their own beds for the employees, which I think is a cry for help. If anybody has ever had the I'm not gonna go all the way back to actually watch this. I'm just gonna collect it. But playing that will actually lets you see a video. That's actually the symbol of the whole company. It's like a shield, a crown, a sword, and a wreath. When I used to play this game back in the 90s, the game that also like it reminded me of was Armored Core. Now, that game has some rage parts in it. There are some rage-inducing parts in that game. I would say because the missions or fighting the other bounty hunters is such a pain in the ass. That game ranks to about 8 rage points. 8 out of 10. Like I have yet to actually play a game where the rage was 10 out of 10. Diamond heads. I call them that because the turrets actually look in the shape of a diamond. In my opinion. You can call these things whatever you want, but I call them diamond heads. They take forever to kill.
Keycard secured.
Just have to straighten out the microphone. Just in case. You never know. Okay, there's nothing there. There's kind of some dust flying around, which is why I'm coughing a lot. And here's how the elevator looks until then. Enjoy the cutscene because this is going to be just one of the first of few mini episodes I'll be recording. I like how they have the graphics like this for the CGI, for the cutscenes, but they don't have this kind of technology for the gameplay itself, which always threw me off. But like I said, this game is only rage worthy if it's if you don't have the perks for it. If you haven't already beaten it and gotten to unlock God mode or something.
Access data screen.
So we're just gonna stop it here. I gotta get some of the other stuff edited. I gotta get the stuff a few of the things redone. But I have a lot of work to do when it comes to making videos. I don't have a lot of time to do them because I work like 5 straight days in a row. I don't get like one day off and then I have to work, then another day off. I get 2 days off in a row, but sometimes that becomes infuriating because I don't have the time or the chances to edit these things even if I'm on my break at work. So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully that once I get things settled, we might actually move the company to England. We're not really sure. It might take about a year at best because we have to get the funding for it, and that's also gonna take a while. So we'll make a video as soon as we reach England. If then it might take a year or so, but we have a new studio up there. We're gonna get things moved there. Me and one of my co-workers, who's also a cast member, of the show, he's gonna come with us because he also can't afford the rent at his place. So he's gonna come with us as well. So thank you guys for watching, and remember, as always, stay cool, stay safe, stay frosty. Good night, everyone.